Hello Stampers, welcome to another Rubber Redneck video tutorial. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to make this mixed bunch little purse. Here is the front, and then here's what it looks like for the inside. To create the purse, what you want to do is use your Big Shot and the Framelits dies, the labels collection, and die cut out 2 pieces in Tempting Turquoise. Now to get the size that you need, you want to cut the Tempting Turquoise at 4.5 by 5.25. Then you're going to use the second Framelits die in your collection here, the second largest one, and die cut out 2 of those. Then once you have 2 of those die cut out, you're going to place them onto your cutter and you're going to cut straight across the bottom here and cut this little edge off. So then what you'll have is a flat surface here. Once you have both of them cut, then you want to run them through the Big Shot with the Elegant Lines embossing folder to give them a little more detail. Then one will be for the back and one will be for the front. We're going to set one of these aside for a second. And you want to decorate that before you put the little purse together. So you want to cut 1 piece of crumb cake cardstock at 2 inches by 5 inches, and then take the stamp from Mixed Bunch, ink it in crumb cake, and stamp it onto the cardstock. Then you're going to apply some glue onto the crumb cake cardstock, and then place that right in the center of the Tempting Turquoise cardstock. Then you want to cut 1 piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock, and you want to cut that at 1/2 inch by 5 inches. Punch it out with the scallop trim border punch, apply some glue onto the back of that, and you won't go all the way to the end because this overhangs and you'll have to trim it. So just apply it and then leave a little bit on the ends with no glue, and then you're going to place that right onto the crumb cake cardstock. Then cut 1 piece of Twitter Painted Designer Series paper at 1 inch by 5 inches. I used the piece that has the Blushing Bride pattern on it. And then apply a thin little bit of glue on the back of the designer paper. Otherwise it'll be bulky and bulgy there and you don't want that. So just a thin little bit, and then you're going to overlap the Pear Pizzazz cardstock and go right onto the crumb cake. Then once you have these pieces glued to the Tempting Turquoise, you want to take a pair of scissors that you use for paper, and you're going to trim the edges of this off. So just follow the guide of the label in the Tempting Turquoise, right around. You're going to do this to both sides. Just trim off that excess paper, because you want this paper to follow the same pattern. Instead of leaving it in a straight strip and cutting it smaller, I wanted it to match the pattern of the label. And then once you have that cut, this is what it'll look like. And then you want to make the box part of the purse now. So we're going to set this aside. You want to cut 1 piece of Tempting Turquoise cardstock at 5 inches by 6.5. Then you're going to score it at 2 3/4 and score it at 3 3/4. Then turn your cardstock vertically and score it at 1 inch, and then score it at another inch on the other side. So just score it in 1 inch on both sides. Then you're going to cut on those scored lines here in the center and cut up to that 1 inch mark to create these center tabs. You're going to apply a sticky strip to the center tabs and then place sticky strip on one end only on the side tabs. Once you have that sticky strip in place, fold on those scored lines good before assembling the box. It'll be easier to put it together for you. Then what you want to do is you want to pull that center tab up, peel off the backing, and I recommend doing one side at a time. Fold over the back that has the sticky strip. Line up your edges So then you'll have this so far. And then you'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Fold your tab upwards, peel off your backing, and then fold over the back side onto the tab, lining up your edges. So this will be what the box looks like so far. Then you're gonna peel off the backing on the sticky strip on the side, and then you're gonna fold over the front of the edges. And then fold over that little flap, lining everything up. And do the same thing on the other side. Just peel off that backing. And then fold over your flap. And line up your edges. And if you get it a little crooked like I just did just now, then take your scissors and trim off the little excess so it looks nice and flush everywhere. And then you're gonna cut some more sticky strip, and what you wanna do is you wanna cut it the length of the box here. And then you're gonna put one at the bottom, and you wanna put one at the top. And you wanna do this on both sides of this little box, so once you get one side, flip it over and do the other side. And when you fold the box, you also want to be sure that your side pieces here both face the same way. And then the rough edge is the edge that will go towards the back. So now you want to take your back piece of your purse here, and you want the embossed side facing out, so flip it over. Be sure your sides are facing towards the back. Peel off the backing on the sticky strip. And then what you want to do is line up the base of the box with the base of the purse. And then be sure that your top part also fits in the center of that label at the top here, so it doesn't go off the edge here where that little groove is. You want it to fit in between. Once you have your back on, then peel off the backing on the sticky strip, and you're going to attach the front part of the purse. And what I did is I stood it up on end and attached it this way, but you can't see that so good in the video, so I'm going to try lining it up this way straight for you so you can actually see it. So just line up your edges again. And then press down so it sticks good. So then there's your purse part so far. Then you want to finish decorating the front of the little purse. So I took the you want to cut 5 1/4 inches of 5/8 whisper weight taffeta ribbon. Apply some glue dots on each end of the ribbon. And then you're going to wrap that around the center of the Twitter Painted Designer Series paper. And just attach those ends on the back side of this label here, the Tempting Turquoise. You then want to use the Blossom Punch and punch out a piece in So Saffron cardstock. Then take a stamping dimensional, place it in the center, and then you want to overlap it onto the purse on the ribbon and the crumb cake. Take the stamp from Mixed Bunch, ink it in Blushing Bride, stamp it onto Whisper Weight cardstock, and punch it out. And then you're going to place a stamping dimensional on the back of that flower, and you're going to stick that right in the center of the So Saffron flower. Then you want to take one of the designer buttons from the neutrals, and you want to use the large crumb cake one. Take a glue dot and place that in the center of the button, and then place that right in the center of your flower. Then you're going to take one of the large jewels, one of the large pearls basic jewels, place that right in the center of the designer button. Then you want to cut 7 inches of 3/8 blushing blind pleated satin ribbon. Apply a glue dot on each end of the ribbon, and you're going to attach that to the inside of the purse. So place that glue dot on the end of your ribbon, slide your ribbon down inside your purse here, and then press tight. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just place that glue dot right onto your end of your ribbon, and then slide that down inside and attach that. Now I just went a little ways down inside on the purse. And then what I did to finish off the little purse was I went through and added some Jewel's Basic Pearls to the scallops here. And then that completes the little mixed bunch purse. Thank you for watching.